Hi, and welcome back to Yoga with Tim. I'm Tim, and this is Ollie. Today we're going to do a practice that focuses on how to engage your shoulders while you're practicing. So you're going to need a couple of blocks. We're going to get started on the knees. So stand up on your knees and take your blocks in between your hands. Put them on your hands. So with your hands supinated, the palms turned so that the thumbs are pointing out, fingers are pointing forward. You'll notice just with the weight of your blocks, so I have these kind of heavy blocks, but to hold something, the tendency is for the shoulder to droop forward and down. So I want you to take the shoulder head, this part of your shoulder, draw it up and back and feel your shoulder blades set onto your back. Now from here, imagine that you're holding something between your upper arm and your side ribs. Then as you exhale, start to press out with your blocks. Feel where your end range is, where you stop pressing out, and then bring the blocks back towards each other. As you exhale, again, press out, but keep your core engaged so that your ribs don't push forward, and then come back to center. We're just gonna do that a few more times. Now, as you press out and feel the elbow squeeze in to the side rib, you might feel in the back of your shoulder armpit area, those muscles turn on. Those are your external rotators, part of your rotator cuff. Come back in. Let's do that a few more times. Push out and squeeze. If you have something a little heavier than blocks, like you can do this with pots at home. That's what I've done in the past. Or if you have like some heavy plates, that'll work well. 2 more times. Feel that muscle really squeeze in the back. Last one, squeeze in the back. Now feel the back of your shoulder turn on as you stretch your arms out. Then bring the arms into the midline. Press them back out. Feel that back of the shoulder turn on, and then rebend. Bring them back to center. Exhale, back of the shoulder, front of the shoulder open. Stretch out. Bring the blocks into the midline and back out. Elbows into your side. I feel like that's enough of that. Okay, cool. So you might feel that if you're using something a little heavier than your foam blocks, now you have some awareness in the back of that shoulder. That's pretty good. The next thing that we're gonna do is bring the knuckles to the temples, and as you exhale, draw your elbows in towards each other, open your upper back. And then as you inhale, feel the back muscles engage, the chest open. As you exhale, draw the elbows in. Inhale, squeeze in your back and open up. Exhale. And inhale. Good, then put your hands down and stretch back into downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward. Now take your blocks or your pots or whatever you have that's usually about 2.5, 3 pounds maybe, and we're gonna hold them with the elbows bent. Tip yourself over into this almost 90-degree angle position, a little higher, and then as you exhale, I want you to lift your arms up into a W position, and then feel the back of the shoulders turn on. As you inhale, bring the blocks back down. Exhale into a W position, turn on the back of the shoulder, keep your spine long. If you have to lift your chest a little higher to get a flat back, fine. Bring the blocks back down. Exhale, feel the back of the shoulder turn on, lift the wrist higher. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, squeeze up. Inhale, down. Just as important to keep a long spine, good posture as you're doing this. Exhale, chin in. Inhale. Couple more times. Last one. Hold that. Then drop the block straight out in front of you, and as you exhale, take the blocks forward and out to the sides. Inhale back towards your shins, flat back. Exhale, send the blocks forward. Inhale back to your shins. You should feel your back muscles burning just to hold you in the flat back position. Inhale. Exhale, blocks forward. Inhale. Exhale, blocks forward and hold. Then hands down. Step back into downward facing dog. Feel how much awareness you have in the back of the shoulder now. Set your knees down onto the floor. Stretch back into child's pose. Then come back up onto your hands and your knees. So this is a super important lesson for keeping your shoulders and your wrist healthy. I talked about this a lot in the 30-day challenge. And we did this from a prone position, lying down on the belly and strengthening those muscles there. But if those muscles are weak, anytime you go to put weight on your hands, your shoulders are going to want to sink in like this. And what that does over time is puts a lot of pressure on the front of your shoulder, and then all that will start to burn out. So most people, when they end up with like rotator cuff tears, it's because they can't hold their shoulder blade back in that position. The external rotators are weak. And that's what I see most commonly in yoga. People that end up with yoga injuries from their shoulders, it's because they're doing chaturanga and they don't have strength in the muscle to hold the shoulder blade back. So we're going to do one other exercise to practice keeping that shoulder engaged in that position. It's going to be chaturanga onto blocks. So you're going to come onto the knees, and then keeping that muscle in the back of the shoulder engaged, you'll slowly lower your shoulder heads towards the blocks, and you almost try to resist the front of the shoulder away from the block, and then come back up. And then lower slowly, like you're going to lower your shoulders onto the blocks, but feel the back of the shoulder turn on, and back up. Keep your core in. Feel the back of the shoulder turn on to hold the blade, and then back up. Stretch back into child's pose. Then come into downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms up. And as you hold your arms up here, let's practice rotating externally. Spin the outer upper arm forward, lift up through the pinkies as you push down into your feet. Release your arms down at your side. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a flat back. And then step back into downward dog. So I'm going to show an elevated hand down dog so that we can practice rotating the outer shoulders down. What I find is that if you try to go too deep in down dog too quick, is that you'll naturally kind of cave into your shoulders. So to get the arms to rotate like we'd like, shift yourself forward a little and try bringing your hands up onto your blocks. Or if you don't have blocks at home, you could do it on a chair seat so you can get the rotation. And then maintaining that external rotation as you press into your middle three knuckles, start to draw your hips up and back. Like pretend like I had a rope across your pelvis, pulling all four sides of your pelvis away from your wrists. And that's the stretch you're looking for in down dog. It's not this. It's not trying to drop yourself to the floor. Rotate, reach into the hands, and then grow yourself into the pose. Inhale into a plank pose. Feel the back of the shoulder again turn on so that you're lifted through the front of the shoulder. Exhale, stretch back into downward dog. Inhale into plank pose. Back of the shoulder turns on. Raise your right leg up, keeping the abs in tight. Change legs, raise the left leg up. Change legs, right leg up. Change legs, left leg up. And stretch back into downward dog. Walk your feet up to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms. Exhale, release your arms down at your side. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a flat back. Step back into plank pose. Stretch back into downward dog. Raise your right leg up from the inner thigh. Exhale the knee to your right armpit. Inhale, reach back, three-legged dog. Exhale to your left pit. Inhale, reach back. Exhale the knee to your chest, step up by your thumb. Come up onto your fingertips and lengthen. Then plant your left hand flat and twist. Take your right arm up. As you press down into your left hand, lift up on the inner shoulder, feel the back of the shoulder turn on. Bring your hand back down, step back into downward dog. Inhale the left leg up from the inner thigh. Exhale the knee to your left pit. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale to your right pit. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale the knee to your chest, pull up, step your foot up by your thumb. Inhale up onto fingertips, lengthen. Then plant your right hand flat and twist. Take your left arm up. And as you press down into that inner hand, lift up on the inner shoulder. Feel the back of the shoulder turn on. Bring your hand down and step back into downward dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees, sit your hips back. Raise your arms up. Stand and release your arms at your side. Shift your weight over into your left heel and bring your right heel up onto the inside of your left thigh for tree pose. Take your arms forward, raise them up, but practice rotating the outer arms forward as you lift up through your armpits into your pinkies. Bring your arms back down, bring your leg down, and change sides. Bring your left heel up onto the inside of your right thigh. Take your arms forward. Start to raise your arms up and rotate the outer shoulders forward as you lift up from the arms, armpits through the pinkies. Bring your arms back down. Bring your leg back down. Then turn to your side and spread your arms out. Turn your left leg in slightly, turn your right leg all the way out. As you press into your inner foot, turn your right thigh out and reach into triangle pose. Press into your feet and come back up. Turn your legs to the other side and reach out over your left leg. Press into your feet and come back up. Turn your legs to the right for half moon. Reach into triangle, hold there, or bend the knee, slide the hand a foot in front of your pinky toe and raise your back leg up. Slide back into triangle pose. Press to your feet, come back up, and turn your legs to the other side. Reach into triangle, then bend your knee, slide your hand in front of your foot, and step up. Bend your knee and slide back into triangle. Press through your feet and come up to stand. Then turn your left leg out and step up to the top of your mat. Bring your knuckles together behind your back. Step your left foot back about 3.5 feet. Roll your shoulders open, inhale. Exhale, start to fold forward out over your right leg. But now let me see those external rotators turn on so that your shoulder heads don't sink onto your chest as you lengthen all the way out over your leg. Reach down into your feet and come back up. Right hand on your hip, raise your left arm straight up. Exhale, reach, twist, put your hand down inside or outside of your foot. Turn and take your right arm up to the ceiling. As you press down into your right inner foot, lift up your right hip. Scoop that thigh, hip crease up, and get long as you're twisting. Now press down into your feet, lift up your belly like a windmill, come up and around for the other side. Bring your hands behind your back, press the knuckles, open up your shoulders by waking up the backs of the shoulders. That's how we open up the chest. Then start to lengthen out over your leg. Ollie, what are you doing in the corner over there? It's a sleeping spot. Reach down into your feet and come back up. Left hand on your hip, raise your right arm. Then reach, twist, put your fingertips down. Find a long line through the line of your left big toe as you turn your rib cage, left arm up. Press down that left inner foot as you draw the hip crease up and back. Then press to your feet like a windmill, come up and around for the other side, and step forward. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back into downward dog or take a vinyasa. Then set your knees down onto the mat. Plant your left hand right underneath your left shoulder. Open up into side plank. Take your right arm up. Now, as you press the left inner hand down, lift on the front of the shoulder. So I don't want the shoulder to roll in like this. That's just going to be building bad posture. So lift on the front of the shoulder so the chest is open. You won't feel it squeeze as much in the back of your arm, but you should feel it turn on. Then as you press down into this right inner foot, take your left leg back and push the left outer foot down. Lift up on the front of the shoulder so you feel the back body turn on. You should feel like now you can stay there all day. It's so strong and steady. Okay, let's change sides. Right knee down, right hand underneath the shoulder. Press down into that hand. As you press into your middle three knuckles, lift on the front of the shoulder, turn it out and feel, okay, now you feel that subtlety in the back of the shoulder, in the upper back. Then push down your left inner foot, push the right outer foot down as you step it back, and make sure you're still lifting on the front of that right shoulder so you feel the back turn on again. Feel your legs turn on, your glutes. Then slowly with control, come back into plank. Lower to plank on your elbows. Hold there, and even here, lift on the front of the shoulders, feel the back muscles turn on. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and slowly lower your pubic bone down to the floor and come into Sphinx pose. Sphinx pose. Then lower your chest all the way down to the floor. Stretch your arms forward. And bend your right knee. See if you can reach back with your right hand to take a hold of your foot. Buttocks out of the lower back, heart forward. Release that. Right arm forward, bend your left knee. And without jamming your knee or your lower back, see if you can reach back with the hand and take the foot. Now maybe you could bend both knees and reach back with both hands at the same time. Now feel the back of the shoulder turn on. to roll the shoulder head open. Oh, here it comes again. It's that backbend action for the shoulder. Then stretch your legs straight back. Press the tops of the feet down. Bring your hands next to your side chest. Feel the back of the shoulder turn on. Now pretend like I was pulling you from your chest bone right here, forward and then up to the ceiling. Roll that chest bone up, roll your shoulder head back. Firm the buttocks out of the lower back like you learned in glute and leg class last week. Stretch back, downward dog. And then come to a seated position. Bring your left heel to the outside of your right hip, right ankle to the outside of your left knee. Sit up straight and tall. Then wrap your left elbow around your knee, right hand behind you. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Release that and change the cross of your legs. Come back to center and sit with your legs wide apart, Upavista Konasana. Bring your left leg into Janu Shirshasana. Turn to face your right leg. Sit up tall. Hold there or start to lengthen out over your right leg any amount. Release that. Stretch your left leg out. Bend your right knee. Turn to face your left leg. Sit tall. Grow the spine. And then start to lengthen out over your leg any amount. Come back up, take that right leg wide, sit tall with your hands in front of you without slouching. Pick up the back of the spine, draw it in and up. And then see if you can start to crawl your fingers forward, still taking the whole spine forward and down. As soon as you feel your thighs start to fight back up to the ceiling or your spine trying to jump back, then that's enough stretch forward for you. Don't fight with your body. So the first yama that we learn in yoga is ahimsa, or non-violence. So we don't want to be doing anything aggressive to the body, especially when we're stretching these deep stretches. You want them to feel like they're soothing for the nervous system. Calm, steady breathing. Then from here, slide your hands back towards you. And see if you could bend your knees, grab your big toes, and lift your big toes up. Then bring your big toes all the way together, if you're still with me. You can also do this with knees bent if it's not working with the straight legs. Reach down in between your tailbone and your sit bones, scoop up from your belly, and then take your arms forward one at a time and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross your legs and fold forward or take double pigeon. Inhale, come back up. Change the cross of your legs and fold forward. Inhale back up. Stretch your legs out. And fold forward into Paschimottanasana. Again, same idea with the spine. Whole spine forward and down. Even if you can't grab your feet, you can just hold your ankles or shins. Then lie down onto your back for Shavasana, corpse pose. So let yourself be fully present by observing the sensation in your body and the flow of your breath. When you notice thoughts coming up, pulling your attention away from the inner body, just notice the thought, let it pass, and come back into the body and the breath with no judgment. Notice the tendency of the mind to want to judge, and instead create space from that. Practice being in the body and feeling the breath. Then staying with that awareness, bend your knees and roll over to your side. Press yourself up to seated. And bring your palms together. So the more that we can create space from the inner critic, even in our practice, you'll notice in your practice, if you're in tune to it, that there's a tendency to judge, label. The inner critic will be speaking at you, that didn't go so well, or that did go. And when we're practicing, we want to try to create space from that and just practice being in the body. And with this, we'll become better at removing judgment from our lives. Not judging ourselves, judging others. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it out. Thank you. Namaste. All right, thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed the class and you learned something interesting about your shoulders, then comment below, let me know, and I'll continue with some more videos like this where we have a little bit of a focus on learning something about the body throughout the practice. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button, please. Not only will you stay up to date with the channel, but it's the best way to support the channel. Also turn on your notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Hit the like button, and if you haven't already, become a member of the community. Go over to my website, timsinessioga.com, and sign up to join. Have a great day. See you next time.